What's going on today, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Cronos LM6004, aka the Omega Seamaster 300 homage. Now, Cronos is definitely one of the top brands from AliExpress, known for their finishing, their overall quality, their quality control, definitely up there with the likes of San Martin and Heimdallr in that regard. But I've never reviewed one on the channel before, so I'm excited to check it out and let you guys know how good it really is. But if you guys are new to the channel, I do reviews on watches under $1,000, and also I do some how-to videos. If you guys want to see how to size a watch bracelet, maybe a sapphire crystal install, then check those out. But more importantly, if you want to stay up to date on a lot of new awesome affordable watches coming onto the market, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Comment down below, guys, let me know what you want to see as far as new reviews coming in the future and different how-to videos. Let me know what you're looking for. But without further ado, let's go ahead, dive down, and get into the review. Alright guys, so here's the box that the watch comes in, and it's one of these boxes that you saw from my San Martin and also Seastern. A lot of these companies are using the same box. So inside you can see it comes with a NATO strap, and decent quality NATO strap. Kind of similar to the one I got with the Pagani design watch, the Longines homage. But actually the finishing looks maybe even a little bit better on this one. But the material, the strap material is just not great. So, but decent extra to get. You get some curved end links, some curved spring bars to go with that strap, I believe. A little screwdriver. Then you get a little spring bar tool. Just want to mention both of these tools are very high quality. You can tell they're very strong, they're going to be durable and last a long time. You also get a signed and dated warranty card, which is, again, nice to see. So I already sized this to my 7.5-inch wrist, so I took out 2 links. So we're going to start off with the dimensions. You have a 41mm case size, although the bezel, so it's claimed to be 41mm. The bezel, I was reading 40.8, but then the case, I was actually getting 39. If you could see, the bezel sticks out a little bit from the case. So I'm getting 39mm on the case and close to 40, just under 41 on the bezel. So definitely a good size. Lug to lug, we're looking at 47. Nice and compact. We're looking at 12mm thick and a 20mm lug width. So really good dimensions. It's definitely going to cater to a lot of different wrist sizes. So the dial, hopefully you can see, we have a sandwich dial. So you have that top layer, and that's over top. It's got some cutouts in it, and then it's placed over top of this layer underneath, which has the lume applied. So hopefully you can see that. And also there's some texture to this dial. Hopefully my camera is picking that up, but there is a little bit of texture in the dial. So I'm trying to get the right angle. You might be able to see it right there. But yeah, really nice. Definitely a nice added touch, little bonus. Also, you're gonna get some Arabics. You're gonna get the 3, 6, and 9. And then at 12 o'clock, you just have the Cronos logo and Cronos written out, which I'm not 100% about. I just don't really like the Cronos, the font that they're using. I didn't like the old font that they were using. This one's definitely better than that was, but it just doesn't look great. I think they need to work on that. But the hands, also, it's all printed, and you can see it says automatic, and 200 meters equals 660 feet. The hands are your classic Seamaster 300 looking hands, and the hour hand has a little cutout in it. It's like skeletonized partially, which I'm not crazy about. I wish they would have just done a regular hour hand there. I wish they hadn't have done that cutout. It definitely doesn't do anything for the watch. I think it would have looked better if they had just done it normally. Your seconds hand with that tip on there, some lume applied to the hour and the minute hand as well. And you have lume all throughout the bezel, and we'll get into that in a second. The price on this watch is $200, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. If you've bought from AliExpress, you know how that works. Their prices can fluctuate a little bit, but I paid right around $200 for this, and I think it's well worth it, but we'll get more into that later. The crystal is a double-domed sapphire crystal, and you have some blue anti-reflective coating on there. But you can definitely see when it hits a certain light. Got that blue AR. It's not overly done though. I could have definitely done with just clear AR. I would have preferred that, but blue AR, not bad. At least it's doing a good job at reducing the reflection and the glare. So nice job on that. Definitely a great crystal to have. So the bezel and the bezel insert. The bezel insert is a ceramic bezel insert, and you can see there is lume applied to all these markers on here. So this is a fully lumed bezel, and this is a 120 click bezel. And yeah, it feels fantastic. Nice resistance, not too light but not too heavy, and it lines up absolutely perfectly. So definitely 10 out of 10 on the bezel. Very, very happy with this bezel. The crown. You can see we have that hourglass logo on the crown, so it's nice to see that they signed the crown. But again, I'm not crazy about that logo. Although, it's nicely finished. Got some nice polishing on there, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to unscrew this. It is a screw down crown. Threading is very nice and smooth. Pops out to that first position. In that position, you can hand wind the movement. Second position is your ghost date position. And I can feel the date turning over, so they did not remove the date wheel. Third position, you're going to hack the movement, and you'll be able to set the time. There we go. Push it back in, starts right back up. I'm going to thread this back in, and again, very, very nice and smooth threading. Oh, if I can get that to catch. There we go. It's a little hard to do with gloves on, but there's no issue with it. Case shape and finishing. So of course it's going to have a very similar shape to the Omega Seamaster 300, but the finishing is done really well on this watch. This is definitely on the level, or almost on the level, of San Martin. Really nice satin brush, and you have a beautiful chamfered edge here, polished chamfered edge, and then it runs onto polishing on the top. Now I kind of wish they would have either done brushed top, polished sides, or brushed top, brushed sides with just the polished chamfered edge. I kind of would have preferred either one of those to this. I just don't like the polishing on the tops of the lugs here. It does look pretty nice, but it's going to get scratched up easily, so for me, I just don't like that. The bracelet, really nice. You have polished center links, which again, I'm not a huge fan of. Kind of wish they would have just done fully brushed, but I understand they're paying homage to the Seamaster, so that did have polished center links. But it does look really nice. The finishing is really good. The thickness of these links too is really nice. It's very quality, feels very quality in your hand. You can tell you're not wearing something cheap. It's very nicely made. The clasp, on the other hand, is not bad by any means. It's a decent clasp, but I think it could have been better. It does have 4 micro adjust, which is great, and the finishing is nice on it, but it's just, it sticks up a little bit once you have it closed. It's not quite as flush as I'd like it to be. It's a little rattly. Not too bad, but a little bit. So it's again, I've said this a lot on these clasps from AliExpress. They could do better. The case and the bracelet are all 316L stainless steel. So very high quality there. Definitely no cost cutting. Moving on to the case back. You have a semi-sterile case back, but you do have some information on there. So you can see it says all stainless steel, sapphire crystal, water resistant 200 meters, and NH35, referring to the NH35 movement in this. And that's my next topic of discussion. So the NH35, that's the movement they're using in this, and that's a fantastic movement. We've all heard about it. You've heard it from many of my other videos. The NH35 is a fantastic movement. 21,600 beats per hour, which equates to 6 beats per second. So nice, smooth seconds hand sweep. And it's just very reliable, very accurate. This watch is actually regulated incredibly well. I talked about in one of my recent videos that if you regulate these NH35s properly, you can get them to be very accurate, well within that -10 to +10 seconds per day. But the range on an NH35 is -20 to +40. This one is regulated to +2 seconds per day. I've been testing this on my app on my phone. I have a little time grapher app, and it's been running consistently +2 seconds per day for the past week, and I'll show you the graphic so you can see what I'm talking about. And there's a little bit of fluctuation, but it's consistently stayed at +2 seconds per day, which I think is just incredible. Moving on to the loom. And check that out. You can see that fully loomed bezel insert. Perfect execution on the loom here, because you can see everything matches perfectly. It's not overly bright on the bezel, not overly bright on the dial. Everything's perfect. And actually, I just want to make sure that this is lining up properly. Yeah, there we go. Looks like that came out of alignment a little bit, but yeah. So beautiful execution on the loom here. It's glowing very, very bright. It's hard to see because it's not very dark in here, but you can certainly see that that is glowing extremely bright. It's going to glow for a long period of time. I don't know exactly what loom they're using, but it's probably something similar to C3 Superluminova. But yeah, really, really excellent job on the loom. And there it is. There's that Cronos. Really beautiful watch. Very comfortable. Wears fantastic. My 7.5-inch wrist, you can see how nicely it wears. And it just looks perfect. It's not too big, not too small. I think it's just hitting that sweet spot. Really nice. I have to say, I'm really impressed with this Cronos. The finishing is really well done. The wearability is great. The movement is extremely well regulated. The quality control is excellent. So my only complaints are the fact that it's not branded on the clasp or the case back. The fact that the loom is a little bit overdone as far as the color, and that skeletonized hour hand, which I just don't like. But those are all subjective things, really, so except for maybe the branding. But you know, that's something you can look past because of the value that you're getting in this watch. So that's going to wrap up the review, guys. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I have a Seek Flammer review and a Seiko Dress KX review, and more coming to you very, very soon. So stay tuned. Hit that bell icon to stay up to date. So thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep watching out.